Hello, everyone. Welcome to Vanished Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. I'm your host, Pete Costanis. This is episode 138, season 6, and today's date is June 11th, 2022. And on today's program, I will talk about the Avalon Theater in Chicago and also about vintage Schaper toys. And if you're not familiar with that company, they manufactured some past classic toys such as Don't Spill the Beans, Ants in the Pants, Don't Blow Your Top, and Super Toe. And I will talk about those toys and my memories of those coming right up. Right now, the program will go into a commercial break, and this program is brought to you by Wishbone Green Goddess Salad Dressing. Oh, sounds good. And the commercial is from the 1960s. So enjoy, everybody. Thank you.
Hey, you don't look Italian, but you do look like Wishbone.
I am the goddess of Wishbone, new Wishbone green goddess dressing.
You're smooth.
I'm homogenized, made with bits of young onion, freshly ground black pepper, tender shallots,
You look good enough to eat, goddess.
and a slight hint of anchovy.
I'd keep you on a pedestal, goddess, but I'd rather have you on my salad.
Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed that commercial for Wishbone Green Goddess Salad Dressing. I've already had this dressing once, and I'll give you a little history of that. It was, according to food historians, there was a chef at the Palace Hotel in San Francisco. His name was Philip Romer, and he invented the salad dressing to honor a actor. His name was George Arliss. I think he played in the movie Disraeli. He won an Oscar for that. That was in 1930 or something like that. I remember seeing this on TCM. And he was staying at the hotel, George Arliss, that is. And it was called The Green Goddess. And so it wasn't, I heard it was not a very good movie or a play because right now, if you watch it, it's kind of politically incorrect according to sources. So that's when the chef Philip Romer created the salad dressing, and he was inspired by by Louis the 18th. I think the 18th. 17th, yeah, 18th. Louis the 18th. There's a lot of Louis in France. And then the rest was history. And then later on, they bottled it. And I think, let's say, for example, the Wishbone made that. Also, Seven Seas, and I remember seeing that. And the traditional recipe for Green Goddess salad dressing is 3 anchovy fillets, then a cup of mayonnaise, half a cup of sour cream, a quarter cup, and then you have some snipped chives, minced parsley, and then 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, 1 tablespoon of white wine vinegar, and then you add salt and pepper to taste it, and then voila, you just mix it and you blend it, and then you're all set. But the recipe has been changed; it's been tweaked throughout the years, so it sounds good. So sometimes if you don't want mayonnaise or sour cream, maybe it's too fattening, you can add mustard or Greek yogurt. Sounds good. Okay. All right. At the beginning of the program, I mentioned that I'm going to talk about the Avalon Theater in Chicago and also vintage Schaper toys. Before I start, I'm going to give you a health update. I had my operation this past Thursday to remove a kidney stone and the stent that was placed in when I was in the hospital in April 27th. It went very well. I felt no pain. I was under anesthesiology. It was an outpatient procedure. I was there for about a few hours, and then I went home. They told me to recuperate. I did. Felt no pain. Nothing whatsoever. I'm feeling fine. I'll just lie down a few times a day. I like to resume my walking. Maybe today I will, maybe a little bit, because it's a beautiful day out. Next week's going to be hot. And I will see my urologist probably in 6 to 8 weeks. They'll contact me. There was a little swelling in my right leg. I put this on my social media accounts. A lot of people worry, oh, you probably have a blood clot or thrombosis. You got to call the doctor right away. I made an appointment, but I got to wait till next month. But it seems like the swelling is gone, most of it. So I guess I'm all right. But if it does return, I will call my doctor immediately and have an ultrasound done. Excuse me. So I'm doing fine. I'm doing okay. So that part's over, and hopefully I'll resume. And then resuming my Orgovix pill that prevents prostate cancer. So maybe it's caused by that, because I feel a little, because it got weird side effects. So it could be that. So I'll talk to my urologist about that. Okay. Enough of the medical thing. It's kind of depressing. I can understand. All right. Now back to the fun. I'm going to talk about the Avalon Theater in Chicago. It is still there. It's called the Avalon Regal Theater. And it used to be called before that, it was the New Regal Theater. I'll explain that in a moment. But it was first called the Avalon Theater. This was located at, I get the address, 1645 East 79th Street in Chicago, in the South Shore neighborhood. It's like it's 79th and Stone Island, where the Skyway is. Well, when it was built, the Skyway didn't exist. It came in about late 40s or 50s. I'm not sure. Excuse me. Anyway, so the theater opened on August 29th, 1927, but it didn't show movies. It showed live theater and like musicals, live performances, and that lasted until 1934. And then they started showing movies. And that lasted until the late 60s. And what's interesting and beautiful about this theater was the architecture, and it was atmospheric, and it's Moorish. Some people say it's Egyptian. It could be Egyptian. And the architect of the theater, his name was John Eberson, and he was born in Austria. He designed that, and he was inspired by. He was in New Orleans, and he noticed a incense burner, and he found it in an antique market. That's what, and it was Persian, so that's what motivated him to, design the theater. And that, like I said before, they showed movies and the theater closed in 1967. And when I posted this on my social media accounts, the responses were phenomenal. People remembered it, that they miss it so much, and they remember what movies they saw. They did. And also, when I mentioned about the architecture, they had like a magic carpet that's hanging. I'd love to see that. Something like a Alibaba and the 40 Thieves or Aladdin, like that. So that's kind of, and he had a lot of murals over there, and even the doors outside, it was gorgeous like that. Oh, very nice. And like I said before, a lot of people remember their movies. Someone mentioned on Saturdays they played cartoons. They show cartoons all day long. They paid like a quarter to see all that. Probably Warner Brothers cartoons like Bugs Bunny, Porky Pig, or Woody Woodpecker, any animation like that. And people loved, and then they had the popcorn in the lobby, I believe. And someone mentioned there was a candy store about a little west of there. And according to sources, that there was a bank on the corner. It was Gateway Bank, and right across the street from the theater. Well, not really across the street. It was like nearby. Forgive me. Was a place called the Kickapoo Inn. when my family lived in South Shore, we went to my godmother's son's baptism. I believe, yeah, and that was held at the Kickapoo Inn. I think she told me that. I could be wrong. I'll double check with her. But I don't remember it because I was when I was an infant. I wasn't born yet, and that's a funny name. It's still the building's still there. It's right on the triangular intersection of South Chicago Avenue, Stony Island Avenue, and 79th. And White Castles was west of there. Also, there was a Sears store. I think it was like 79th and Kenwood, around there. Beautiful store, I've been told. It's been closed since then. Last I heard, it's now a data center. That's what I heard. Could be wrong. Anyway, I've never been to this theater. I never have, but I wish I did because I am so entranced by the architecture. It looks so beautiful. I just want to go inside and just look around and browse. It was like, ooh, that looks great, phenomenal. And then when it closed in 1967, the theater was sold, and that was in 1970, and it was bought by the Miracle Temple Church. The area changed. It was now an African American neighborhood. And it was there for 14 years, a long time. Then the building was bought by the founders of Soft Sheen Products, and they renovated and reopened as a performing arts venue, just like it when it first opened. And they renamed the theater from the Avalon to the new Regal Theater. The original old Regal Theater was in the Brownsville area. It was at 4719 South Martin Luther King Drive Jr. Drive, excuse me. But it caught fire, and then it was later demolished in 1973. The fire occurred in 1971, and so they renamed it the New Regal Theater, not the original, and then it received landmark status on June 17th in 1992. And it ran for a long time. And then it closed again in June 2003 because of low attendance, and it was too expensive to maintain. And that's a shame. And then it was bought again in 2008, and they hope to revive it, but it hasn't opened since. Not really. But they have tours. I believe maybe they do. I'm sure because I saw this on WGN Channel 9. They had a tour. Somebody did a report, and they showed the inside. Oh my God, it was beautiful. So I think they have tours to do that, and it was fascinating to see that. According to reports, Kanye West, the rapper, he's from the South Shore neighborhood, and he pledged to donate $1 million to have it reopened. It hasn't reopened yet because in the news he's been very busy with his personal life and whatever, and still close to this day, which is a shame. I hope they reopen it. I really do. I really hope so because it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. And maybe someday if I go on a tour, I'll go see it. I really would love to, but I don't think so. If I have time or have the option to do that. So the theater's still there, but it's changed. It's been renamed twice, but it's a gem. It's a gem of a theater, So I hope you enjoyed after you listen to the show. I hope you enjoyed them, and then share your memories on my social media accounts and comment because people are still doing that. Excuse me. Okay. All right. Next up, I'm going to talk about Schaper toys, and I'm going to mention the toys that I remembered, and also what they manufactured. But right now, the program will go into a commercial break. And believe it or not, I have a commercial of Don't Blow Your Top, and it's from Schaper. if you don't if you don't hear very well, just turn up the volume. It's a little low. So enjoy this commercial because I remember this and it was the funniest thing I ever saw on TV. And I hope you like it too. So here we go.
Don't Blow Your Top is the wacky name of the brand new crazy Schaper game. Don't blow your top. Your turn to go. Be careful now. Don't make it blow. Don't blow your top if you want to win. Cross your fingers and drop it in.
The spinner tells you how many marbles to drop, but be very careful. Don't Blow Your Top, another toy for boys and girls from Schaper.
Cookie always leaves you laughing.
Okay, I'm back. I hope you enjoyed that commercial for Don't Blow Your Top. Here's a little nugget of that. The object of the game is you have a spinner to determine how many marbles you put in, and you drop it in his hat. And first you place the balloon in there, and the weight of the marbles becomes too much, and then so it just the balloon just inflates like that. And the winner is the person with the fewest marbles in their possession until when the balloon bursts, and you're the winner. That's great. So it's kind of funny. So, okay. Right now I will talk about Schaper Toys. Here's a history of that. And the toy company was founded in 1949 by William Herbert Schaper in Robbinsdale, Minnesota. That's outside of Minneapolis. And he's the best known game was called Cootie. And that was the logo of the show. Not the show, the company, excuse me. And then they started making commercials, and then they manufactured more. And Cootie was like a game. It's like it's like a puzzle. You just put his legs together, his head, and all that. I never owned it, so. And let's see. So other games he's well known was Ants in the Pants and Don't Break the Ice. I remember those. They used to show these commercials in the 70s, like I think I remember on Channel 32, maybe Channel 9 during the reruns. I remember that. And then they had the jingles. I remember Don't Break the Ice. Take some plastic mallets, and there's a guy that's standing there. So the object of the game is if somebody breaks the ice first, then you won. So, okay, so here's the other games that I mentioned. Here we go. There was the Super Jock Line. Do you remember that? And there was baseball, hockey, basketball, and soccer. Super Toe, that was the name of that. I had this game. I think it belonged to my brother, but we had this when we lived in the Ashburn area, and I think they got it as a Christmas present. And that was like, you have this football player, he's made out of plastic, and there was a goalpost and two plastic footballs, and of course, the object of the game is like how far the guy would kick it. So you place the plastic football by his foot, and then you hit his head, and boom, and he kicked it, and trying to get a field goal. So that's probably how many field goals you can get. Sometimes that was a lot of fun. I liked that, and that was hilarious. Also, there was a called Big Mouth that came out in the late 60s, and you tried to feed it, to this, it was like a thing. So it was like a Big Mouth. So it was like a clown. There was also Clean Sweep. There was called Dunce, King of the Hill, Little Stinker. That was one of the early games that came out in 1956. And it's similar to Old Maid. So it was like that. There was Puzzling Pyramid, Shake, and Stadium Checkers. And there was another game called Ticklebee. And it was like a metal bee, and with molded plastic maze. So that was kind of weird like that. And let's see, what else are there what are their toys? Here we go. Yeah, there was Don't Spill the Beans. I think I mentioned that. There was Shake a Leg, Get Off My Back, The Last Straw. I remember that. Last Straw is like a camel. So you try to put these straws. The camel had 2 baskets over his body, like by his humps, and you tried to put as many straws as you can, and if he falls down, you lose. So that was funny. There was also Don't Go Overboard, and there was Cat in the Bag, and of course, Don't Cook Your Goose. I remember that one. That was hilarious like that. Okay. Let's see what else they had. Cootie's the famous one. And then when you heard the commercial, you heard the mascot and he's laughing like that. So I remember that vividly. He was kind of cute like that. Let's see. There was another one called Corral. There was Tumblebug. I remember that. And there were others. There was others like that. So it was a good company. It really was. Another one called Sting Ding. Put and Take. That's funny. But the most famous games you remember was Don't Spill the Beans and Ants in the Pants. People remember those very well. Oh, there was also called Humpty Dumpty. Now, Humpty Dumpty was there was Humpty Dumpty, and then he had these bricks, and you try to pull the bricks one by one, and if he falls, you lose. And there's also Sombrero Marble Maze. I remember that one. That was funny. Oh boy, there's a lot of them like that. Huff and Puff game. I remember that. So these were great toys. They really were. Okay. And actually, they were around for a long time, and then they were bought out by Milton Bradley. And first they were bought by Tyco Toys. Remember Tyco Toys? And they were they were a division of Mattel. Then they sold the rights to some of the games, including Cootie, to Milton Bradley. So some of them are under one company and the others are not. And the plant, they manufactured the toys in Minnesota, closed in 1987. So you can still find these toys, like for example, Cootie, Ants in the Pants, Don't Spill the Beans, and Don't Break the Ice on Amazon or any toy store. Well, if Toys R Us will come back, I'm sure they would carry that. But you would find them. I saw them in Walmart one time, and they were there. They didn't look the same as when I was little. Not really. They look a little different, but the ones I had, they were fun. They were really fun. By the way, the Super Toe game, I remember there was a commercial. I think there's a commercial on YouTube, and it featured Alex Karras, the football player. And he was playing with this game, which was funny. He's best known to me and other people as the father of Webster on the TV series in the 80s, which starred his wife, Susan Clark. I enjoyed that. He was a good guy. I liked him a lot. Okay. All right. That'll be all for today. Discuss about the Avalon Theater in Chicago and also Schaper Toys. And that's about it. I might do another podcast episode tomorrow. I haven't thought of what I'm going to talk about. I'll think of something as the day goes by. And so that was a lot of fun. Okay. Be sure to listen on my other podcast called TV Oblivion. I just started that last week. I have 3 episodes uploaded. They're still there. I'm going to do my 4th one today. It'll be a lot of fun. I discuss television shows that are totally forgotten or rarely syndicated. And that's very interesting. I like discussing that because that's in my blood. Okay, and this episode 138, is you can find it on any podcast app wherever's available. It's also, I'll put in my social media accounts, you can click on it and you can listen. It's also on my YouTube channel with the same name, Vanished Chicagoland Stories. And so be sure to tune in. You'll like them. Okay. This is Speak Astonish, your host, and for Vanished Chicagoland Stories, thank you again for joining me. Everyone have a good day. And here's bye-bye for now from Ray Rayner with a little traveling music, and bye-bye for now from me. So long, everybody. Take care.
We have to go. Bye, bye, bye.